Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christina Joy. I make Christian and lifestyle videos about Jesus to help you have hope and to grow in your faith. If any of that sounds interesting to you, then please hit the red subscribe button below and give this video a thumbs up. That helps to get them out to more people. In this video, let's dive right in. Dennis Prager. He is a man that I had a lot of respect for until the last few months when he started saying some very sketchy, misogynistic things. And there was a video posted on the Daily Wire and on Jordan Peterson's YouTube channel, which has since been deleted because the things he said were just so misogynistic. And we're going to dive into the specific things that he said and why they're trash, why they don't hold up with logic. And yeah, so let's dive right in. Let's just listen to what he says.
Obviously, Christianity and Judaism are not identical religions. We have no equivalent that if you look upon another woman with lust, it's as if you have committed adultery with your heart. There's only one way to commit adultery in Judaism, and it's with a different organ.
In the Torah, there is a defense. He comes from a Judeo background. He's a Jew. And in the Torah, there is a defense to not watch porn. It's literally in the 10 Commandments. You shall not covet. Exodus 20:17. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, or his male servant, or his female servant, or his ox, or his donkey, or anything else that is your neighbor's. The word covet means to yearn or to possess, to have something, to yearn, to want it. Similar words, synonyms would be desire, or to be consumed with desire for, to crave, to wish for, to yearn for, to long for, to dream of, to want, to have one's heart set on. These are all things that when you are watching pornography, by nature, you are doing. You are wanting someone else's fantasy body. You are wanting someone else's something that belongs to someone else.
There's only one way to commit adultery in Judaism, and it's with a different organ. And I'm not being cute. I'm being very realistic. Looking with lust is not a sin in Judaism.
He goes on to say, looking with lust is not a sin in Judaism. Well, that is not true either, because it's in the literal 10 Commandments. You shall not covet. Jesus said in Matthew 5:28 that if you look at a woman with lust, you've already committed adultery with her in your heart. So then Jordan Peterson asks, so what's your stance on pornography? Because obviously he's saying all of these things. Then Dennis Prager goes on to explain something incredibly toxic. He says he will always ask the one question, quote, how is your life of intimacy with your husband? Is it good?
Looking with lust is not a sin in Judaism.
What's the stance on pornography? Just to put you on the spot.
You did indeed. Okay, so my answer, when it's raised on my radio show, I have a male-female hour, and I'm very open about sexual subjects. I always ask if a wife calls me and says, my husband looks at pornography, I found on his computer, I have one question. How is your life of intimacy with your husband? Is it good?
Your ability to do good or evil is not dependent on someone else. It is dependent on you, and thank God for that. Your wife or your husband does not have the responsibility to make sure that you do not cheat on them. We would never ask this question to men. Can you picture Dennis Prager saying to a man, I just want to know one thing. I want to know, how is your life of intimacy with your wife? Is it good? No, it's an extremely misogynistic perspective. It's one that is extremely harmful to women and to people in general. Dennis Prager claims to be giving a moral answer, but his morality is based on no other reason, because it's clearly not based on the Torah, as I just showed you, but it's based on his desire to gratify himself, which is the antithesis of the morality that he claims to be operating in on this standpoint. And he goes on to say, if pornography is a substitute for one's wife, it's awful. If it's a substitute for adultery, it's not awful. Okay, well, the fact that this is now a deleted video kind of proves that what he said was pretty awful, or else the video would not have been deleted. And also, from a logical standpoint, in no other situation is a lesser crime justified because you decided not to commit a bigger crime. For example, if you decided not to hold up and rob a bank, but instead you're like, oh, I'm just gonna mug a little old lady, you still committed a crime that needs to be prosecuted. If you decide not to do cocaine, but instead knowingly take too much prescription medication or other lesser drugs, that's still not okay. The logic does not hold up.
And I'm not being cute. I'm being very realistic. And I know this is not a religious answer, and I'm not even giving a religious answer. I'm giving what I think is a moral and realistic answer. Men want variety. And if adultery is a substitute for, if pornography is a substitute for one's wife, it's awful. If it's a substitute for adultery, it's not awful. That is my unpredictable answer.
He claims to be giving what is not a religious answer, but a moral and realistic answer. And so I just wanted to respond to that claim also, because if you're on the sinking ship of watching pornography, you're sinking, and you need to make a decision to get out of, jump off of the ship into a lifeboat, get some accountability. Because from a moral and realistic perspective, if you are constantly thinking about something, obsessing about something, that's not a good thing. If you apply this to any other situation, if you're fantasizing about murder, that's not a good thing. If you're fantasizing about literally anything that you would consider to be a sin, that would be not a good thing. And as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So in any other context, what you think about directly affects your life. Watching pornography is not victimless. Number one, you are the person that is being affected by it in your psyche, possibly in your body. The person on the other end of the screen that you are watching is made in the image of God. You are directly insulting God when you're watching pornography. And also, from a moral and realistic standpoint, the facts are that 22% of all pornography is child pornography. It's children. And an even higher percentage, 30% of all the searches are for children. So by watching pornography, you are directly contributing to the abuse of children and to the sex trafficking industry. And I stand by that statement, and you can come after me in the comments, but I'm standing by that statement because it is true, and it is garbage to say that it is not affecting people, that it is a victimless thing to do, because it is affecting people.
Men want variety.
He goes on to say that men want variety. It is not the female's fault if men cannot keep their eyes and their hands to themselves. And this toxic, men need variety type language is literally hurting women and children and little boys. And it is so toxic and harmful, and especially with the recent movie that came out, The Sound of Freedom, and the fact that the sex trafficking industry is so huge and so dark. We cannot be literally supporting things that are directly funding child abuse. Like, it's I can't even fathom how Dennis Prager thinks that from a logical standpoint this holds true. From a religious standpoint, it holds true, and from a realistic and moral perspective, it holds true, because literally in none of those situations it holds true. So I guess my closing of this is that the number one reason that I think that people should not watch pornography is because of how it directly fuels the sex trafficking industry. And I would say second to that, if you are a person of faith, if you claim to be a Jew or a Christian, if you have some sort of semblance of morality that's based on your belief in a creator, then also that logic does not hold up. So that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching this video. I never expected to be making a reaction video to something that Dennis Prager was saying, and yet here I am. And so yeah, please subscribe, like this video if you haven't already. I've got some interesting videos on my channel, a few movie reviews, some ukulele videos, some faith-based apologetics content. Any of that sounds interesting, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!